kick us off, let's talk about one of my favorite YouTubers, a guy who is definitely a party starter. This guy is Mr. Beast. Mr. Beast has become famous for his giveaways. We love the idea of generosity. When most of us hear the word generous, this is what we think about. Mr. Beast giving away a private island, which he did do one time. But even if we don't have a bunch of extra money to be generous with, we do have things like time, encouragement, we have kind words, and even talents that we can share freely with other people. But if you're anything like me, it's easy to let your thoughts on generosity be just that, thoughts. Can we be real for just 1 second? I think sometimes what keeps us from being generous is fear. But if we're not careful, our desire to be the main character can get in the way of something really important, being generous with other people. Sometimes we're worried that making someone else the main character in the room will get in the way of us getting ahead in life. So when someone else gets the attention and the win, it suddenly feels like our status is at risk. We don't always use what we have to give others. We don't always make an effort to help others win. But can I challenge us with this question? What if we're missing it? During his time on earth, Jesus spent a lot of time helping people learn about what it meant to be a party starter. To help people understand what Jesus was teaching, he often used parables or stories to make his point or to get it across. A guy came up to Jesus with a complaint about his brother. See, their father had died, and one brother wanted to share the wealth that they inherited, while the other seemed to want to just keep it all to himself. This is how Jesus replied. Then he said, "Beware, guard against every kind of greed. Life is not measured by how much you own." In other words, be careful thinking that life is only about you. So now Jesus went into a parable to expand his answer and help us really get that point. In the story, there was a rich man who made money by running a really successful farm. Instead of finding a way to be generous with the extra crops he had, the rich guy decided to build bigger barns to store all of the crops in for himself. But God had a different idea of what this man should do. Yes, a person is a fool to store up earthly wealth, but not have a rich relationship with God. Like the rich man in this parable, we think that a full life is found in getting everything that we want. But Jesus reminds us here that there's much more to it than that. Party starters know that part of winning is helping others win. You remember the last World Cup? Look, whether you love it or hate it, you can't deny that soccer is the most popular sport in the world. Every 4 years, teams representing countries all over the globe come to compete for the World Cup. This is a really big deal in a lot of different countries. So even though someone in Buenos Aires may never step foot in the stadium or make a single pass in the game, they're cheering as though a win for their team is a win for them personally. In fact, when it comes to soccer, sometimes it's hard to tell the difference between what a win means to a player versus what it means to a fan. Winning just means so much to everybody. Let me show you what I mean. I can almost guarantee that all of those people celebrating the win for their team felt like they won too. People get really hyped for soccer. But the point is that when someone else wins, we can see it as a win for everyone because we aren't competing against each other. We're on the same team. One of the first Christian leaders, a guy named Paul, wrote something about this same idea in a letter to his friend Timothy. Tell them to use their money to do good. They should be rich in good works and generous to those in need, always being ready to share with others. By doing this, they will be storing up their treasure as a good foundation for their future so that they may experience true life. Because, as God promises, when we're generous with what we have to give, that's where a true full life is found. You have what it takes to help someone else win. And a party starter knows that part of winning is helping others win. Start by paying attention. Look for ways you can help someone else win. When we do just one thing to help someone else win, finally, cheer for somebody else. Remember, a party starter knows what part of winning, that part of winning is helping others win. So take some time to think about what it means to truly help each other win.